Copy that. A patrol SUV is en route to the suspect.
So Watch Dogs, it's Ubisoft, much talked about, much controversial, much awaited game, and it is finally here. I completed it and I am here to tell you if you should buy it or not and why. So first of all, I played it on PS3. The last gen versions of Watch Dogs are considerably worse than the next gen versions and PC versions, of course. And also a little bit worse than you should come to expect from a last gen game in 2014, which is just the first of many disappointments in this game. To start off, the most talked about thing in Watch Dogs are the graphics downgrade, the resolution and frame rate. The graphics have been noticeably downgraded since the 2012 reveal of Watch Dogs, and especially even on next gen, it doesn't look next gen. It's just very disappointing what Ubisoft did with the graphics of this game now in 2014. 2 years ago it would be reasonable to have these kind of graphics, but now it is kind of on the low side. And because that isn't the biggest problem this game has, in my opinion, the lack of depth in this world, and the missions are definitely the worst of the worst in this game. The first of those two, the game is very unadvanced. If you look at this clip I got here, I keep shooting at these boats, but for some reason they won't explode. The engine is not advanced enough to let boats explode. It is just very weird. It doesn't react as consistent to things like in a game like GTA. For example, you can just escape from the police by getting in a boat and just driving away. You also cannot shoot out of the window of your car, which is just so frustrating. You have to take someone down like in almost every mission and every side mission, but you cannot shoot out of the window. You have to take them down by hacking, which is very frustrating. And talking about those missions, they are absolutely shit. That was definitely the worst point of this game. The missions, the main missions are pretty cool, but you fill them way too easily, way too much, and that results in a frustrating experience where you have to play the same mission over and over and over and over again. Very much frustrating, and the side missions are even worse. They are also very easy to fill. The checkpoints in those missions are even worse, so you have to play the mission like all the way over from the beginning. They are very repetitive, they are way too much. It's like Ubisoft is cramping content into this game without making it really good, which is very disappointing, and I'm not used to that from Ubisoft. Now, the story of the game is kind of good. It is, not to tell any spoilers, about a hacker named Aiden Pierce, and he lost someone of his family and now he is seeking for redemption. That's basically the whole story, but then if you look at it, he wants to kill one person or two persons, and with doing that he basically kills half of the city, which is kind of unrealistic. Well, this game tries to be realistic, so that is kind of strange too. And the whole point of this game is of course hacking. You can hack a variety of things. Hacking is particularly useful in story missions or side missions, but during free roam it is basically useless. You can randomly kill people with it or take cars down, but it isn't really that useful in free roam, and just on its own, free roam in Watch Dogs is just not that entertaining. You can take down some criminals and drink some coffee but not really more than that. Now moving on to the online part of Watch Dogs, I am playing the PS3 version that misses the decryptive, I can never say that word correctly, the decryptive competitive multiplayer mode where you have to decrypt a file with your friends, and it also doesn't have the free roam multiplayer where you can play with up to 9 people, just 9 people, which is total crap as far as I can see. But the game modes that are in here are the online hacking and the online tailing and racing, and those are pretty cool, especially in the online hacking. I like that a lot. It can be very frustrating if you are getting hacked yourself, if you just want to do some missions and suddenly it says mission unavailable because you're being hacked. That is very fucked up. And you can of course turn off the online invasions, but then you lose all of your progress, which is also not really what you would want. So although it is pretty fun, the online hacking, it is at the same time really fucked up as well, just like the single player. And it also has online racing, which you're seeing right now, and that isn't really that special. It is kind of cool because you can use those hacking powers to take down your opponents. But if you are one of those opponents, that is very frustrating and not fair. So it's kind of a neat addition, but racing also isn't really that special. So does this game actually have some good points to it? Well, yeah, sometimes it has those cool moments where you're listening to music while free roaming or while chasing someone. It has that cool effect to it. Also during main missions, it is kind of James Bond style. It is very stealthy, which I really like. But for the rest of it, it is just not a good game. It is not worth buying. It is not up to standards you would expect from a game, even a big open world game in 2014, especially from Ubisoft. I'm used to seeing better stuff from Ubisoft, and especially the downgrades in graphics. All just not positive things technically for this game, and the game itself also isn't really good. It isn't trying to do something very original. The hacking is kind of cool, but it isn't like Assassin's Creed, which has its own theme and own unique things. Watch Dogs is basically a copy of the Assassin's Creed mechanics and gameplay with some neat additions and of course set in a modern world. But it isn't what you would expect from Ubisoft, and I definitely wouldn't recommend buying this game to anyone on any platform. So Watch Dogs, to buy or not to buy, is a not to buy. What do you think? Have you played Watch Dogs? Did you think it was cool, or are you in the same ship as me? Did you think it was very disappointing? Leave that down below in the comments. No hate please, because it is, we all just have our own opinions. Click the like button if you liked this video. Click the subscribe button if you want more, and then I will see you in the next one.
Damn! You see that? They took out my truck! It's like they're trying to make a point!